Peace and joy, guys. Welcome back to another video, Drumheller Farms. And hey, today we are grazing some beautiful forage. We've got a lot ahead of us. We're moving cattle every 12 hours. We're about to be going into moving cattle 3 days a week, or 3 times a day. You notice that in my last video, I moved the cattle 3 times, and we're going to get into doing that, moving them at noon when the bricks are the highest and the sugar content is the highest in the grass. You can see where I drove my buggy across here, what it did. And that's what I'm doing to put up a fence every day, is I'm cutting a trail with my buggy. That's why I'm driving the buggy through here. Some people might say, why are you driving the buggy through there? Well, I'm cutting a trail because if I don't, you're not going to see the fence. And that's how much grass we've got here. And it's thick. It's very thick. There's a ton of clover down inside here. You can see, I mean, it's some areas, it's a solid canopy of clover underneath of the grass. And I mean, heck, there's some clover that's almost as tall as the grass. And this grass is 40 inches. Or some even more than that. So I just wanted to talk to you guys real quick. I had something on my mind when I was out here this afternoon about, everything I'm going through here. Moving cattle 2-3 times a day. Doing all this for the land and how it's preparing for, something better. And preparing for the next generation, so to speak. And so it just had me thinking about a couple things. I wanted to talk to you guys about it, and a couple things I wanted to share with you. But first, let's get these cattle moved, because you can see calves over there. They're playing. They're becoming naughty. They're going places they shouldn't be. And these guys are waiting patiently to be moved. So I'm going to see if I can do this with one hand without shaking the camera too much. I'm on my cell phone, so bear with me, guys. Come on, girls. There's some boys in there too, but come on. You can feel the power when they're running beside you. And you also see around the left side of them, everybody's ruminant's good and full. There's nobody that's empty. That's what we're wanting to see. Come on, old timer. Let's get moving here. Bunch of calves over there still. That's all right. Come on, let's go, guys. All right. All right, guys, here's the aftermath. This is what they did. There's still quite a bit of solar collecting power here. Lots of manure distribution. They could come in a little bit tighter, but I'm doing something different every year. Every year I'm just seeing what works best for my operation. And last year, a lot of you guys have been asking, why are you taking less? Last year you were doing more of a total graze, which I was not doing a total graze. I was doing more of a non-selective graze. Why are you leaving a little more? Well, I want to do something different. I don't want to do the same thing every year. One thing I will say is I do feel like that was very stressful on the land, taking all that. And in the end, I did graze a lot of days per rotation. And I think I did get a little further into the year. We didn't feed hay till about December 26th, I think it was. But was there a huge difference at the end of the year? I don't know yet. I'm going to play around with it this year and see what happens. And so that's really what I want to talk to you guys about here today. Is all this preparation that we do for our land. If you guys are in regenerative agriculture, you know that there's a lot of, doing things and not reaping the benefits for some time. There's a lot of things that you're doing, preparing the soil for something that you're going to get the benefits of later on in life. And some of us, we might not even get the later on in life. It might be something that we're passing along to a future generation. It might be something that generation might not even be our children. It might be somebody else, might be somebody else that takes over our farm someday. And so with that in mind, that's what I kind of had out here thinking about tonight as I'm moving cattle. The things that we do for the future that we're not experiencing the benefits of right away. And that had me thinking about, I heard a story once, something that monks will do is they'll take skulls of humans and they'll just look at them. And they'll hold them and they'll look at them. And you think, boy, that's pretty morbid, right? Why would they do that? Well, what they're doing is they're contemplating their mortality, right? They're thinking about the fact that they're as good as dead as that skull that's in their hands. Nobody can escape death. It doesn't matter how much we prepare for this, how much money we make at this, how much we leave behind. We're never taking this with us, and we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die someday. And so my question to everybody out here in YouTube land, and something that had me thinking about it tonight on this kind of gloomy afternoon paddock move, was how many of us are preparing for what's next? How many of us are preparing for the afterlife, as well as what we're preparing for here in the now life? And because if we're as good as dead, like that monk that's holding the skeleton or the skull of a human, contemplating his mortality, it sounds very morbid and weird, but he's really kind of doing what I'm doing here. I'm preparing for something that I'm not going to reap the benefits from right this minute. I'm not going to see the hard work that I've put into this right away. I mean, I'm experiencing some of these blessings right now, but he's preparing his heart for what comes next. And so that's my question to us today. How many of us are preparing our hearts for what's next? Because this world that we see right here, the Bible says in Corinthians, I believe it is, that this is transcendent. That means that this things that we see in this world, they're temporal, and that we need to focus on things that are eternal, right? And I'm going to tell you something, this land is not eternal. As much as I put into this soil, and as hard as I work these cattle and give back to the land as much as I can to be as profitable as I can, to raise as many cows as I can on this land, and to harvest as much beef as I can on this land, it's only temporal. And it's it's not everlasting. And so as much work as we're putting in here, and that's what I was thinking about out here, man, as much work as I'm putting out here, I need to be making sure that I'm putting that much work also into my heart, also into what is not transcendent, what is eternal, what is everlasting, what is never going to fail. And if I've lost some of you guys and you're going, what in the heck is this farmer out in his field talking to these cattle? What is he talking about? Well, what I'm talking about is that when we die and we go in the ground, our souls are going to go somewhere else. And so in Genesis it says, God created man in his own image. What's that mean? Well, he didn't create, my guess is God doesn't look like me. He doesn't have a beard. He's not sitting up there, walking around like Nathan Drumheller. So what does that mean? Well, he created us with a spirit, okay? In John 1, it says the Word was with God and the Word was God. And the Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. What does that mean? It means that Jesus was with God. He came to earth in the form of flesh, okay? And so we were created in the image of God, in that we are spirit with him. So when we die, our spirit is going to go somewhere. And I know this is a lot. But my question to all of us here today is, where's your spirit going? When you die and all this is gone away, and let me tell you, this is a beautiful sight for me. There's nothing more on earth that really gets me going than to see this right here. It really does. This much grass and cattle grazing. This is about it for me. I mean, I hope one day that I'm out here moving these cattle when it's my time to go and my spirit leaves this body. They find me, face down into a paddy someday or something. Because this is it, buddy, let me tell you. But as much work as we're putting in to giving back to the land and doing everything we can to raise these animals, what are we doing to prepare our souls and our hearts for what's next? Man, they're just going to town on that, aren't they? So anyways, guys, I know it's a lot to kind of talk about, but I hope it gets us thinking. Hope it gets you thinking. It's got me thinking. It's got me thinking, man, putting a lot of work in out here, Am I putting up that much work, to prepare for the most important future? Because, listen, I'm not saying we don't prepare for the future here on earth. I think it's only wise to prepare ourselves for this life and to make a living and work hard, right? But are we equally preparing ourselves for the most important future? Anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. Hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. And God bless.